Hey guys, Brian Haywood here. Welcome back to my Beards and Banjos YouTube channel. And today I've gathered all of the tools that I use when I trim my beard. So I want to go over that with you guys. I've kind of become known in the community for my beard trims and styling advice. So a lot of guys ask me what they should get to trim their beard. So I wanted to kind of give you a brief overview here of some of the things that I use, some of the things you can use, maybe some things to avoid. So I'll be putting links to all of this stuff below. By the way, I am now officially an Amazon associate. So if you use any of the Amazon links, I do get a small percentage of that, just full disclosure there. And I'm also an ambassador for Brio, which is the Beardscape trimmers that I use. All right, so let's talk about a few things. So you need something to trim the hair, obviously. So I use clippers and scissors, which are really your two options there. So the clippers, I do use the Brio Beardscape. So this can be purchased on Amazon or through my my Brio affiliate link for that. So they also have the Beardscape, and then these are the Axis trimmers. So I use the Axis a little bit less, but I'll use that if I'm like trying to be careful and getting some stuff from underneath. Anytime I'm working closer to my skin, I will use the Axis. Sometimes I'll use it here on that back line a little bit. All right, so you got the Beardscape. I like a little bit better. It's bigger, it's more powerful, it's so quiet. The important thing about wanting a powerful set of trimmers is that if not, you start pushing the hair around. You don't want to push the hair around. You want it to just cut through it like butter. And that's especially true if you've got a really kind of straight or thinner type of beard. It's real easy to push it around. So if you're going to use clippers for that, the Beardscape is the best ones I have found. But if that's the case and it's really straight fine here, you may want to stick to some scissors on that. So these are from Beard Brand. I won a gift card back when they were doing their weekly live streams way over a year ago, probably 2 years ago at this point. So I picked these up. These were $50 at the time. I'm not sure how much they are right now. But the key to these is they're not very big. You don't want to use these big honking scissors that you use to cut paper around the house. And even the ones that come in like the hair cutting clipper pack and stuff that's for hair, sometimes that's a little bit too long. You want to have some with some maneuverability. So stay in like the 5 to 6 inch range would be a lot better, because you're working around corners here. You're also sometimes working around the mustache, and you're in a little bit tighter quarters. So a little bit smaller scissors will be more beneficial for you. And then these are perfect for working around, doing a little bonsai tree trimming here around your mustache. If you're looking to take off one hair at a time, but also these are pretty sharp. I've been really impressed with these, had these well over a year now, and basically do all my mustache trimming with these, except for the ends. I do the ends with this sometimes, but also because it's a little bit thicker when I do the handlebars on my mustache, I'll use the little bit bigger scissors on that. But really impressed with these little scissors. I highly recommend you do that. So you can just stay right above your lip line if that's what you're looking for your mustache. All right, so we talked about things to trim your beard with. Now we're going to talk about some other things. You need to keep being able to comb your beard out and reassess things. So lots of different things that you could use. Sometimes before you start, you may want to consider like using a blow dryer and straightening out your beard just a little bit, especially this area under here. The curlier this is, you have to be really careful. You want to straighten it out a little bit, because if not, when you trim your beard, then you'll go combing out and you'll get all of these long hairs that have been kind of curled up and hiding away from you, those pesky hairs. So in that case, you may want to straighten a little bit. I also really like this paddle brush, this detangler. It's got nylon bristles here, but then underneath it's got boar's hair. So what that allows me to do here is to really start to pull all of that hair out from underneath before I trim. So I really like the detangler paddle brush there for doing that. Also, if some guys are more into combs, so I did a video on This Model 8 from Chicago Comb, but also Model 7 I use every time I do a beard trim and every day anyway, and that's a number 7 pick. So I basically use it to go in and pull everything out, and then I'll go back with most of the time the boar's hair. Sometimes I'll do this, the detangler, to start with, but eventually I'll use the boar's hair brush to go around the entire surface of my beard to see if there's any flyaways, and then I can get them with the scissors, or I can go back and make another pass with the Brio to get the flyaways on that. Some guys like the Kent combs a little bit better. For me, my beard's a little bit too curly for a lot of Kent combs. This one is really handy though. This is the closest thing I've got to being able to use one. This is a 10T. So I've got that one. I do, however, use the 0T, which is more like a pocket, or an OT, whichever one is, like a pocket comb. But I use that when I'm working around the mustache area, when I'm pulling this down straight, so I can give my mustache some separation, but also on my mustache itself to do a little combing on that, all right? And then also there's the 81T just for the mustache. So it's like the one for your baby doll's hair, but that one allows you to comb your mustache to the side if you're trying to part it down the middle, or work on the handlebars and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of different options there. And then once you're finished trimming, and then some guys like ox horn combs, I can use that some. So you basically, for your combs, you need to find something that works for you. This gives you the right amount of tension that's actually helping you lay the hair down straight. All right. This one's a comb, but it's not really for combing your beard. This one is a clipper comb. So this one helps me do the tapering here on my sideburn area, or my sides. So yes, you can use the guards on your clippers, but for this one's an Andis clipper comb, so any flat comb will really work. But what I do is I put it in, and then I'll go back with the clippers here, and then help me really get a fast taper on that. So it comes in handy, but you want to be very careful because this is really thin. This is the width of a 1 guard on hair clippers, all right? So it can also help you here on your hair. If you ever see them do the clipper over comb method when they're doing hair, when they're getting the sides short and the top longer, that's what they'll use as a clipper comb. All right, so very handy to have. And then after you're finished with all of your trimming, that's when you start working on the edge, right? So for edges, there's a couple of things you can do. You want to be really careful with this back edge. It's really hard to see. So yeah, you can use the trimmers if you want. You can use the scissors as a better option for you probably, but you can't see it. So that's where your handheld mirror, and you're going to get to see my whole room here, but the handheld mirror kind of comes in handy, where you can see what these back lines are looking like as you're going through your beard trim. Okay, so that comes in handy. That's pretty cheap too, for that inexpensive. And then you can start working on your cheek lines. So for your cheek lines, they make grooming cheek line guides here, like the Brink that I did a video on. And then you can use whatever kind of razor you want, whether it's some sort of electric razor, or trimmers, or twin razor, whatever you want to use, or you can use a straight razor. I did a big cheek line tutorial guide there on the straight razor here from the Tradesman Provisions Company, and now I'm used to using this now, finally, after messing around with it a couple different times over the past few years. And I think that's it. All right, so that's about all I can think of. I went a little bit overboard with all of these combs, but it's just to give you some different options. You got to find something that works for you. But other than that, I always use the clippers and a boar's hair brush and a detangler and the clipper comb to work on my taper. I always use a straight razor now, and always use my pick in between passes, and I use my handheld mirror. So, and then both types of scissors here. And the combs for around my mustache area. So these are the things that I use every single beard trim. What do you guys use? Let me know in the comments if you use any of this stuff, or you use some things that I've forgotten to mention here. Always interesting to see and try out new grooming tools as I see something come available. But anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. And as always, I appreciate you guys watching. See you on the next video.